But I
Go
had
for it.
really unrealistic expectations like before working with you, but now I feel like very well equipped.
This is Dan, the Queer Strength Coach. I am here today with Justifer Davis, who has been a member of the Queer Strength Coach community and wanted to jump in the call today and share their experience with folks watching this video. Justifer, if you wanted to give a quick introduction, who you are, what you do, and we'll get into some quick questions.
Hello, my name is Justifer. I'm 26. I work in government. I live in Southeast Austin, and it's been really great working with Coach Dan. I've been looking for a more holistic training experience, and I really enjoyed it.
What would you say your biggest challenge was prior to working with the Queer Strength Coach or us working together?
My biggest challenge was conflicting information on the internet. I feel like I was always caught in some algorithm of do this, don't do that. And so I really wanted someone that could answer my questions directly and confidently and work with me directly and had a balanced approach that made me feel supported. But my biggest struggle was just the endless information on the internet and trying to I had gotten to the point where I was going to the gym, but I didn't feel like the time that I was spending in the gym was being used well just because of all the conflicting information. So I needed more guidance in that regard. 'Cause there's a lot of stuff out there.
I think a lot of folks watching this will identify with that. You talk about feeling, I think it was lost when you go in the gym because of the conflicting information. What other feelings surrounded that challenge of not being sure what to do?
So I've been going to the gym a year and I was still kind of
Okay.
uncomfortable in the gym just with all the different putty types, all the varying levels of skill, all of the options, the people. It was very much a social thing too, the more I think about it. But just I needed help being also more comfortable in a gym environment. I would view some machines as scary or workouts
Hmm.
as scary.
And then now, I think fast forward, how do you view those machines? Are you more confident when you get into the gym?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like just the general gym environment I'm more uncomfortable with just because I have a better understanding of the machines. I've done a range of workouts with the program, especially as far as like dumbbell usage and also the wacky machines that you tend to veer away from because they look strange.
That just fear of the unknown is what keeps you from even trying
Yeah.
it. What other things had you tried before working with the Queer Strength Coach to maybe feel more confident or make progress in fitness?
Well, I've always been like an activity-based person. So I think before this, I did rowing. I'm looking into doing bouldering. I'm also really big into backpacking. So the way I work out is centered around doing those activities. I've tried to avoid the gym altogether in the
Yeah.
past. And so I'd also do a lot of running and stuff. But I feel like
Okay.
with my goals, I needed to be more confident in the gym. There just
Right.
wasn't a lot of muscle strength going on, no weight training or anything.
Gotcha. So never really focused on building muscle tissue. You'd always been a really activity oriented person. Were those activities being held up?
Were made more difficult for sure. Like the activities that I love, especially as far as backpacking, I just got back from Big Bend, was just an easier hiking experience. And a big change for me also was just moving more. One of the things in your program, it focuses a lot on like also getting steps in and whatnot and increasing just day-to-day activity. I think that also has helped me a lot as far as like things that I love and not feeling in pain afterwards and being able to do them for longer because I'm a pretty active person.
Do you have any like reservations when you had reached out to work with the Queer Strength Coach?
Yes, I'm actually suspicious of all life coaches. Something that really was important to me, but it's a 90-day program, so that is a limit. I feel like with some life coaches, they're not really the best at goal setting, so that way they can continue to work with you. I really like the structure and limits in this relationship, a therapeutic relationship.
That means a lot. And especially coming from someone who works with other
Mhm.
people. I know you mentioned your work in government, but you,
Yes,
what
I
maybe
also
give
have a
yours.
background in therapy and
Yeah.
counseling.
Is secret shopper or something almost.
Yeah.
Like she knew what to look for.
Yeah, this happened more so in the beginning, but I think something that really did like change the way that I look at food, portion wise, and motivated me to really stick to those whole foods and eat what I love, um, and pursue foods that are more filling, and that's helped me a lot too.
I know we kind of mentioned that a little bit earlier in the call, but can you think of specific changes? You mentioned food being one of them, your approach to can you name any others?
I've lost like 20 pounds. But I've gained a lot of muscle. But that presents as me, and this was one of my goals. I have like firmer legs and a smaller stomach, and I'm able to do the activities that I love for longer. I first started this program, I was like really proud of the gym because I was spending all my time at this place, like I had to have it. But I'm like, I'm not seeing results. I hurt, this sucks. But now I'm like, after this program, I'm still gonna keep going to the gym. And excited to go to the gym. I feel a lot better. And knees hurt a lot less after backpacking. So that's a 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Also, my expectations, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but I
Go
had
for
really
it.
unrealistic expectations like before working with you, but now I feel like very well equipped to just continue.
Honestly, for anyone watching, is the goal of this program, right?
Mhm.
Is to equip you with whatever tools you need so that you can drive this car yourself wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
You mentioned a Big Bend trip, and that I feel like came at an appropriate time towards the end of our time working together. That was your first solo backpacking trip, correct?
Well, when you're like hiking with more people, you have to consider a lot more of like abilities. Stuff's definitely a big factor. I was able to kind of like do more, but my like hiking, like the rate at which I was able to like ascend up, I was hiking in the Cheetos region, went by quicker. I was not out of breath. Like breath control, I'd say was the main thing I was focusing on. But as far as like hiking up a mountain, my legs hurting, like my legs really prepared, but just out of the workouts I'd done. And I communicated that goal with Dan, and he was very keen on working legs for that purpose. And so that was helpful. And no,
That
like literally, like I'm from backpacking trips and I'm like hobbling like I did miles. And they're like for my legs was really easy. Honestly, it was the best recovery I've had. My shoulders, on the other hand, just from the weight of the pack, we're still
yeah,
recovering. But you know,
amazing and awesome. Just see the results and not just physically, but like feel them. You're doing the activities you love post activity. Is there anything else you want to add about your experience? Any lessons you learned or reflections that you have?
I like how streamlined it is. I like especially the three of change. And just like what level of activity that you need for your goals and not doing like not overworking, underworking, and being confident at work. I think that's excel at helping people do that.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's just been amazing to watch your growth in this process, but you've also shown up from day one, ready to
Yeah,
make
there's also been
changes.
times that I like didn't show up, like things happen in my life. I missed a few workouts, but you're able to work around that. You were never like, don't do that.
And I think that point right there goes, I think, a long way in showing that you don't have to be perfect in this process either to see results and to see change. And it sounds like you just feel more confident to carry forward with this. And that's like, if I can say
Mhm,
anything, it's like that's I think is the most important thing is that you
mhm.
feel like you can, steer yourself now.
Yeah.
Amazing. What would you say to somebody on the fence about, making that they're thinking about making some change like this in their life?
Because it's really holistic. I feel like there's something everyone can get there. I feel like, especially as gay people, we get a lot of mixed messaging about food and how often we should work out and how much activity we should do. And if you struggle with those expectations, want someone that is like non-toxic, have like open conversations about, I highly recommend with Dan.
That's super thoughtful. And hopefully, folks that are hearing this understand that we can participate in fitness for ourselves, right? Like you came in with very specific goals to who Justifer was and
Mhm.
is, So walking out of this program more equipped to continue exploring your interests, your passions, and your own for a lifetime.
Yeah,
So
I would also, you're pretty good about meeting people where they are. Like going in, I'd been going to the gym for a year, but I feel like you have enough knowledge to help someone who just never goes to the gym, or someone who's been going to the gym and is a bodybuilder or something.
fitness should meet folks where you're at and then be a process that you can engage in and enjoy. It's been such a wonderful process working with you and your story. It's like so cool of what you've been able to do. I mean, this process was not a walk in the park. You definitely went through some life changes while in our time working together, and you took him on the chin and kept rolling and became more resilient and knowledgeable of yourself in the process as well. So it was a super big pleasure to be able to work with you. I've really appreciated it.
Yeah, it's been a great 3 months.